On October 19th, 2024, my daughter-in-law looked up from her phone at my dining table and said, "My mama always says you gotta know your worth. Some people just stuck in the past, you know?" I'm Josie Harris. I'm 64 years old. I live at 847 Oakwood Drive in Prince George's County, Maryland. And I said nothing. Just set down my water glass, real slow, real steady. Then I smiled. "You're absolutely right, Alicia," I said. My voice came out calm. So calm my sister Keisha looked up from her jollof rice with eyes that said finally. So calm my son Isaiah's fork froze halfway to his mouth. So calm Alicia's face went from smug to confused. "Your mama's taught you well," I continued. "So well, in fact, that starting next month she can pay your rent. All $1,800 of it." Silence. Isaiah's head snapped toward me. "Mama, what rent?" I kept my eyes on Alicia, watched her freeze with that phone still in her hand. "Let your mother pay your rent," I said. "Since she's such an incredible woman. Since she's taught you so much about being smart with money." What are you? 16 months, Alicia. $1,800 a month. That's $28,800. From my pension. From selling my jewelry. From Thomas's emergency fund that I bled dry while you posted pictures of $80 brunches on Instagram. Isaiah put down his fork. "Mom, what are you talking about?" "Ask your wife," I said. "Ask her about the rent money she told you was coming from her mother. Ask her where it really came from." Let me back up. Let me tell you how I got here. My name is Josephine Ada Harris, born to Nigerian immigrant parents. My father was a chemistry professor at Howard University. My mother a nurse at Holy Cross Hospital for 38 years. They taught me 3 things: work hard, save money, and take care of family. Always take care of family. I married Thomas Harris in 1984. We had Isaiah 2 years later. Bought this house in 1989 for $87,000. I worked for Prince George's County Public Schools for 35 years, retired in 2018 with a full pension. Thomas died 3 years ago, April 23rd, 2021. Massive stroke at a construction site. He was 62. He left me $42,000 in savings. Emergency money, he called it, just in case. After he died, I lived on $3,800 a month, $2,100's pension plus $1,700's Social Security, enough to pay bills, buy groceries, get my hair done every 6 weeks, send Isaiah $200 for his birthday, enough to be generous when someone said they needed help. Isaiah married Alicia Bennett 3 years ago. She was 29, pretty, a graphic designer who said she was freelancing. Her mother, Patricia, owned rental properties in Bethesda, drove a Mercedes, wore designer clothes. At the wedding reception, Patricia told me, Alicia could have married anyone, but she chose Isaiah because she saw his potential. His earning potential. I should have known then. When Elijah was born 18 months ago, I wanted to be the grandmother who mattered. But Patricia got there first. Patricia held him first, got the first photos, became Grandma Pat while I was Miss Josie. I appeared in maybe 1 photo out of every 20 on Alicia's Instagram. Always blurry, always background. Then came October 15th, 2023. Alicia showed up at my door at 2:47 p.m., crying. Mascara running, red eyes, hiccuping breaths. "Isaiah lost his job," she sobbed. "Friday. Budget cuts. Rent's due in 5 days. We have $900 in checking. That's it." My heart stopped. "He can get unemployment, but that takes weeks," she continued. "And Miss Josie, I'm pregnant again. 3 months. High risk. Doctor says bed rest. I can't work. And we're going to lose the apartment." I should have asked questions. Should have asked to see the termination letter, the doctor's orders, the bank statements. But I didn't. Because this was my son, my grandson, my future grandchild. "How much do you need?" I asked. $1,800 a month, just for rent, just until Isaiah finds work. Maybe 3-4 months max. $1,800. 4 months, $7,200 total. It would hurt. but family takes care of family. Okay, I said. I'll help. Really? She grabbed my hand. Miss Josie, thank you. We'll pay you back as soon as... It's fine. Family helps family. Then her voice changed, got quieter. There's one thing, though. Isaiah can't know it's coming from you. I pulled back. What? His pride. You know how he is. He'd never accept money from his mother. He'd rather sleep in his car. But he's okay with my mother helping. So if you could just let him think it's coming from Patricia, I'll tell him she's covering rent. He'll believe that. Something felt wrong. Please, she whispered. I'm begging you. Don't make me tell Isaiah his mother thinks we're charity cases. Okay, I said. I won't tell him. She gave me her account information. Navy Federal Credit Union, account ending in 4429. Made me promise again not to tell Isaiah. That night I transferred $2,800. My savings dropped from $42,000 to $4,200. I called Isaiah. Your wife told me about the job, I said. I'm sorry, baby. Yeah, I'll find something. Patricia's helping with rent until I get back on my feet, so we'll be okay. Patricia. The lie burned in my throat. The transfers became routine. Every 15th of the month. Fund $800, November $38,400, December $36,600, January $34,800, but there were extras. December 28th, hospital bill for high-risk monitoring, $2,200. Sent it, $32,600. January 19th, baby essentials, $800. Sent it, $31,800. February 10th, car repair for job interviews, $1,500. Sent it, $3,300. By March, 6 months in, I'd sent $15,700. Thomas's emergency fund bleeding out. I started cutting back. Box dye from CVS instead of the salon, $8.99 instead of $65. Shopping at Goodwill. Shopping at Aldi. Stopped contributing to church building fund. Skipped my blood pressure medication twice to save the $40 copay. Keisha noticed. Jules, you okay? You looking thin? I'm fine, I lied. Just being careful. But I was starting to wonder. Little things didn't add up. Like when I saw Alicia's nails, fresh set with ombre design. Those cost $85 minimum. Or Elijah's Burberry onesie, $120. Or her Instagram post about self-care Sunday at a spa in Bethesda. I told myself maybe they were old things, old photos, but the doubt grew. April 2nd, 2024, Thomas's birthday. I couldn't sleep. Got up at 3 a.m. and did something I'd been avoiding. I opened Instagram. Searched at Alicia Harris Designs. March 28th, brunch photo, the wharf. Mimosas, avocado toast. Sunday fun day with my girls. I Googled that restaurant. $65 per person. March 24th, nails, close-up. New set Who Dis butterfly chrome. March 18th, Nordstrom bags, 3 of them. New spring wardrobe. February 22nd, date night at RPM Italian. Average bill, $200. February 14th, designer handbag, Michael Kors, $398. January 30th, professional photos of Elijah. Best $400 I ever spent. I sat there at 3:47 a.m., scrolling through 6 months of her life. None of it looked like a woman desperate for rent money. If they were barely scraping by, if they needed my $2,800 every month just to survive, where was this money coming from? The brunches, the nails, the shopping, the restaurants, the professional photos. Where? I needed proof. Real proof, not suspicions. The next morning I walked next door to my neighbor Sharon's house. Is Tanya home? I asked. Tanya Williams, 24 years old, accounting major at University of Maryland, taking a forensic accounting class. I'd known her since she was 7 years old, riding her bike up and down Oakwood Drive. She came downstairs in sweatpants and a university t-shirt. Miss Josie, what's up? I need help with something, I said. Financial investigation. I think my daughter-in-law has been lying to me about money. Tanya's expression sharpened. Like fraud? Maybe. I don't know. That's what I need to find out. I showed her everything. The transfer history. Alicia's full name, social security number, bank account number, the Instagram posts. Is there a way to find out if she really needs this money, legally? Tanya nodded slowly. My professor, Dr. Wilson. He's a former FBI financial crimes investigator. He supervises cases for our class. We could look into this. Public records, business filings, that kind of thing. All legal. How much would it cost? For you, Miss Josie, $500. I'll do it as a class project. $500 from a savings account that now sat at $3,300. Okay, I said. Do it. I wrote her a check right there. April 5th, 2024. Give me 2 weeks, Tanya said. I'll find out what's really going on. 2 weeks. 14 days of wondering if I was paranoid or if I was right. 14 days of lying awake, doing math in my head, watching Alicia's Instagram, feeling sick every time I saw a new post. 14 days of still sending that $1,800 on April 15th because I didn't have proof yet. Didn't have evidence. Just doubt. Just fear. Just a growing certainty that I'd been played. On April 19th, my doorbell rang. Tanya stood there with a folder, 37 pages thick. Miss Josie, she said. Her face was serious, worried. You need to sit down. I let her in. We sat at my kitchen table, the one Thomas built 30 years ago. She opened the folder. This is bad, she said. What she's doing to you, it's really bad. Tanya spread the papers across my kitchen table. 37 pages of bank statements, business records, tax filings, screenshots. I'm going to show you everything, she said. But Miss Josie, you need to prepare yourself. This isn't just about money. This is about systematic deception. My hands were shaking. I folded them in my lap. Show me. She flipped to page 12, a business registration document from the Maryland Secretary of State. Alicia Harris Designs, LLC, registered March 15th, 2021, 3.5 years ago. I stared at the document. She has a real business? Not just registered, active, profitable. Tanya pulled out another page. These are her quarterly tax filings. 2023 gross income, $31,400. That's an average of $2,600 a month. $2,600 a month. But she said she couldn't work. She said bed rest. I checked that too. Tanya showed me another document. Medical records request through Dr. Wilson's law enforcement contacts. Completely legal. No high-risk designation. No bed rest orders. Normal pregnancy, normal delivery. She lied, Miss Josie. About all of it. I couldn't breathe. Literally couldn't get air into my lungs. There's more, Tanya said quietly. She pulled out a bank statement. This is Alicia's personal checking account. See these deposits? Every month, $1,200. Same date, same amount, for 3 years. I looked at the source. P. Bennett Real Estate Holdings. Patricia, Tanya said. Her mother's been giving her $1,200 a month since 2021. That's $43,200 total. The room tilted. My voice came out as a whisper. So when she said Patricia's money was tied up in investments, she lied. Patricia never stopped sending money, not for 1 month. Tanya pulled out a calculator, started adding numbers. Alicia's business income, $2,600 per month. Patricia's transfers, $1,200 per month. Your transfers, $1,800 per month. That's $6,200 a month just in Alicia's accounts. And Miss Josie, Isaiah got a new job. I looked up. What? December 18th, 2023. Miller Construction Group hired him as senior project manager. Salary, $72,000 per year. That's $6,000 a month after taxes. December. 3 months after he lost his job. He's been working for 10 months, I whispered. And she never told me. No, she kept taking your money. October, November, those first 2 months? Maybe they needed help. Maybe. But December through now? They didn't need a dime. Tanya wrote the numbers on a clean sheet of paper. Total monthly income. Isaiah's salary, $6,000. Alicia's business, $2,600. Patricia's transfers, $200. Josie's transfers, $1,800. Total, $11,600 per month. Their rent is $1,800, Tanya said. Even without your money, they were making $9,800 a month, more than double what you make. I felt like I was underwater, drowning. Where did my money go? I asked. Tanya showed me another bank statement. Alicia has a separate savings account. See these automated transfers every month, $1,500 for 16 months. $1,500 a month into savings. She saved $24,000 while you sold your jewelry. $24,000. My money, sitting in her savings account, while I used box dye on my hair and skipped my blood pressure medication and shopped at Goodwill. There's one more thing, Tanya said. Her voice got even quieter. The extras you sent, the hospital bill, the baby essentials, the car repair, $2,200, $800, $1,500. That's $4,500 in emergencies. She showed me Alicia's credit card statements. No hospital bill on any of these, no car repair charges, no baby store purchases. Miss Josie, I think she just asked for extra money and pocketed it. I stood up, walked to the sink, turned on the water, watched it run. Behind me, Tanya was still talking. Total, you've sent $28,800. Total she actually needed in October and November when Isaiah was unemployed. $3,600. Everything after that, $25,200. She took while working, while getting money from her mother, while her husband had a good job. I turned off the water. Thank you, Tanya, I said. My voice didn't sound like mine. Can you make me copies of everything? Already did. She handed me a folder. Miss Josie, this is financial exploitation of a vulnerable adult. Maryland law, I know. I'll handle it. After Tanya left, I sat at that table for 2 hours. Just sat there, looking at 37 pages of evidence that my daughter-in-law had spent 16 months systematically robbing me. Not borrowing, not accepting help. Robbing. I didn't confront her right away. Needed to think, needed to plan. But 2 weeks later, May 3rd, 2024, I found something that made waiting impossible. I was looking for my summer clothes in the guest room closet, pushed aside some boxes, and there, on the top shelf, was a small velvet box I recognized. Thomas's watch box. My hands were shaking when I pulled it down. Please, I thought, please let it be here. I opened it. Empty. The watch was gone. For a moment I couldn't move. Couldn't think, because that watch, I'd given it to Alicia a year ago. Handed it to her after Sunday dinner told her. This was Thomas's pride. 30 years with his construction company, they gave him this Omega Seamaster. Isaiah's too careless. Lost 3 watches already. You keep it safe for Elijah. When he turns 18, it's his. Something from his grandfather. She'd held it carefully. Miss Josie, I'll guard this with my life. I promise. Guard it with her life. I called her immediately. Didn't care about planning anymore. Didn't care about being strategic. Where is Thomas's watch? My voice was shaking. Silence on the other end. Alicia, where is my husband's watch? The Omega? Her voice was small. Miss Josie, I pawned it. The room spun. You what? I pawned it. I'm sorry. I needed... When? March 20th. But Miss Josie, I was going to get it back. March? My voice rose. That's 6 weeks ago. Redemption is 90 days. You have 6 weeks left and you haven't gotten it back? I'm trying to save the money. You're trying? You make $2,600 a month. You get $1,200 from your mother. I'm sending you $1,800. Where is the money going? Silence. Which pawn shop? Capital Pawn on Route 1. How much did they give you? Her voice was barely a whisper. $650. $650. Thomas's watch, worth $3,200 at least, pawned for $650. I hung up. got my purse, drove to Capital Pawn. The man behind the counter found the ticket in his system. Omega Seamaster engraved. You got the stub? No, but that's my husband's watch. He died 3 years ago. My daughter-in-law pawned it without permission. Can't release it without the stub or $715 for redemption. $650 plus 10% interest. I pulled out my debit card. Watched my account balance drop to $29,585. The man brought out a tray. Thomas's watch, sitting there like it had never left. Silver case. Engraved on the back, Thomas J. Harris, 30 years, Miller Construction, 1991. I held it, felt the weight, felt Thomas somehow present in the metal, drove home with it in my purse. That night I called my sister Keisha. I need you to come over, I said, and bring your lawyer paperwork. Keisha's a family law attorney, has been for 23 years. What's going on, Jules? I'm done being nice. Keisha came the next morning with her briefcase. I showed her everything. Tanya's report, the bank statements, the Instagram posts, the watch, now safe in my jewelry box. How much total? She asked when she finished reading. $28,800, plus the watch. Keisha's jaw clenched. She's 5 years younger than me, fiercer, never had patience for people who prey on family. When are you confronting her? Soon, but first I want to understand something. How does someone become this person? How does Alicia smile at me, hug me, call me Miss Josie, while robbing me blind? You think Patricia taught her? I know she did. I just need to see it. The opportunity came 1 week later, May 12th, Patricia's 53rd birthday. Alicia called. Miss Josie, I'm hosting a dinner for my mother. At your house. Isaiah suggested it. Would that be okay? I smiled into the phone. Of course. I'd love to host Patricia's birthday. I wanted to watch them together, wanted to see the dynamic, wanted to understand the monster who'd created my monster. The dinner was set for 6:00 p.m. I made jollof rice, my grandmother's recipe, made chin chin for dessert. Bought a $45 cake from Whole Foods with Alicia's money, technically. Patricia arrived in her Mercedes, wearing a white silk blouse and black pants that probably cost more than my monthly pension, heels that clicked on my hardwood floors, the floors Thomas and I refinished ourselves in 1995. Josie, she said, air kissing my cheek, thank you for hosting. We sat for dinner. Me, Keisha, Isaiah, Alicia, Patricia, and baby Elijah in his high chair. The jollof rice was perfect. I could see Patricia's little nod of approval. Then, halfway through the meal, Patricia said something to Alicia. Said it casually, like commenting on the weather. Have you secured the August payment yet? Alicia's eyes flicked to me, quick, nervous. Still working on it. Work faster, Patricia said. That's $12,000 you need by August. I'm not covering it. Isaiah looked up. What payment? Patricia paused, realized her mistake, but instead of backing down, she doubled down. Investment property. Alicia and I are buying a townhouse together. Rental property. She needs $12,000 as down payment. $12,000. I'd given her $13,500 so far after the first transfer. She was saving my money to buy property with her mother. I set down my fork, very carefully, very slowly. That's wonderful, Patricia, I said. What a blessing. And here I thought Alicia was struggling so much she needed help with rent. Patricia's smile was cold. Well, Josie, smart women make sacrifices in the short term for long-term gains. That's what I taught Alicia. You save where you can. Invest where you should. Save where you can, I repeated. Like letting someone else pay your bills while you save for investments? The table went quiet. Patricia wasn't embarrassed. She was warming up, enjoying her own wisdom. If someone offers help, you take it, she said. That's not taking advantage. That's being strategic. When Alicia's father left, I had nothing. Nothing. You know what I learned? Pride is expensive. If someone wants to give you money, family, friends, whoever, you take it. You build your empire with whatever bricks you're handed. Keisha spoke up. Even if those bricks belong to someone else's house? Patricia shrugged. Everything's borrowed in this life anyway. I understood then. Completely. This wasn't just Alicia being greedy. This was Patricia's training manual. Patricia who'd been giving Alicia $1,200 a month for 3 years. Patricia who taught her daughter that family members were ATMs with legs. Patricia who probably encouraged it. Get what you can from the old lady. I looked at Patricia across my table, the one Thomas built, and I saw exactly who she was. A woman who'd weaponized struggle, who'd turned survival into a philosophy of exploitation, who'd taught her daughter that love was measured in dollars extracted. Patricia, I said quietly, how much have you given Alicia over the years? I don't discuss my finances. I'll tell you how much I've given her. $28,800 in 16 months. For rent she didn't need. While her husband worked. While she worked. While you were sending her money. And now you're buying property together with my money. Silence. Isaiah's face went white. Mama, what are you talking about? I stood up, went to the counter, came back with Tanya's folder. 37 pages. Set it on the table in front of Isaiah. Ask your wife, I said, where rent money's been coming from. Ask her if Patricia's money was ever tied up. Ask her if she's been working for the last year while taking $1,800 a month from me. Ask her about the $24,000 she saved while I sold my jewelry and skipped my medication. I looked at Alicia. She'd gone completely still, frozen. And ask her, I said, my voice quiet but steady, why she pawned your father's Omega Seamaster for $650 in March and let it sit in a pawn shop for 6 weeks while making $2,600 a month from her business. Isaiah opened the folder, started reading. His hands were shaking. This dinner's over, I said. Everyone leave except Isaiah. He stays. We need to talk, the 3 of us. Patricia stood. Now wait just to get out of my house, I said, didn't raise my voice. Didn't need to. You taught your daughter how to rob me, but I'm teaching her the consequences. Get out. Patricia looked at Alicia. Alicia sat frozen, tears starting to stream down her face. Alicia, let's go. She stays, I said. She and Isaiah stay. You leave, now. Keisha stood up, all 5'3" of her, but she'd faced down judges and opposing counsel for 23 years. She walked to the door, opened it. You heard her, Patricia. Leave. After the longest minute of my life, Patricia grabbed her purse and left. The door closed. Just me, Isaiah, Alicia, and Keisha in my dining room. Isaiah was on page 15 of the report, the page showing Alicia's business income. His face was devastated. Baby, I said to my son, I need to show you something else. I got up, came back with the watch box, set it on the table, opened it. Thomas's Omega Seamaster, gleaming silver, engraved on the back. Your wife pawned this in March for $650. I redeemed it 2 weeks ago for $715. She was going to let it sell. Let a stranger walk away with the only physical piece of your father we had left. Isaiah picked up the watch, held it, and started crying. Not the kind of crying I'd seen from him since he was a boy. Deep, wrenching sobs. Grief and rage and betrayal all mixed together. How could you? He whispered to Alicia. How could you? But Alicia had no answer. Just tears. Just silence. Just the ruins of 16 months of lies collapsing around her. Isaiah sat at my table, holding his father's watch, tears streaming down his face. Alicia sat frozen, mascara running. Keisha stood by the door like a sentinel. I sat down across from them, calm, steady. I'd been preparing for this moment for weeks. Alicia, I said. Look at me. She raised her eyes, red, terrified. You told me Isaiah lost his job in October 2023. True or false? True, she whispered. You told me you were pregnant with a high-risk pregnancy that required bed rest. True or false? Silence. False, she finally said. You told me Patricia's money was tied up in investments and she couldn't help. True or false? False. You told me you couldn't work, but you've been running Alicia Harris Designs for 3.5 years, making an average of $2,600 a month. True or false? True. Her voice cracked. Isaiah was staring at her like he'd never seen her before. You've been working? This whole time? Freelancing, she said weakly. Just small projects. $2,600 a month isn't small projects, Keisha said. That's a full-time income. I opened the folder to page 23. This is your savings account. Automated transfers. $1,500 a month for 16 months. $24,000 saved while I sold my wedding jewelry for $6,200. While I skipped my blood pressure medication. While I shopped at Goodwill. I was trying to build security. With my money, I said. My voice stayed level, but the anger underneath was molten. You were building security with money you stole from a 64-year-old widow. I didn't steal. You gave it to me. Because you lied. My voice rose for the first time. You told me you were desperate. You cried in my living room. You made me believe my son and grandson would be homeless. Every word was calculated to make me give you money I couldn't afford to give. Isaiah stood up. His chair scraped against the floor. How much, Mama? Total. How much did she take? $28,800. He closed his eyes. Oh my God. That's not all, I said. I pulled out another document. These are your credit card statements, Alicia. The ones Tanya got through legal channels. The hospital bill you claimed was $2,200? No hospital charges. The baby essentials you needed $800 for? No baby store purchases. The car repair for $1,500? No auto shop charges. Alicia's face crumbled. You needed nothing, I said. You wanted to save for a townhouse with your mother. You wanted brunch at the wharf and designer purses and $80 nail appointments. And you decided that I, your husband's mother, your son's grandmother, would pay for it all. I pulled out a document Keisha had prepared. 3 pages printed on legal letterhead. This is a promissory note, I said. You're going to sign it. Alicia stared at it. What is it? Keisha stepped forward. Legal document. You agree to repay Josie $28,800 plus 6% annual interest. Monthly payments of $600. That's 49 months, 4 years and 1 month to pay back what you stole. I can't, Yes, you can, Keisha said coldly. You make $2,600 a month from your business. You can afford $600. What if I don't sign? Then you have 2 choices, I said. Choice 1, I sue you for financial exploitation of a vulnerable adult. Maryland law is very clear. Anyone over 60 who's been systematically deceived and financially exploited is protected. I have 37 pages of evidence, bank statements, tax records, Instagram posts showing you spending money while claiming poverty. I will win. You'll owe me everything plus legal fees, and you'll have a judgment on your record. Alicia went pale. Choice 2, I continued, and my voice got quiet. Deadly quiet. You leave. Tonight. You pack your things, you leave my son, you give him full custody of Elijah, and you never come back. You disappear from our lives completely. I forgive the debt, but you lose everything else. Mama, no, Isaiah started. This isn't your decision, I said, not looking away from Alicia. This is between me and the woman who robbed me blind for 16 months. These are her options. Sign the note and repay me. Get sued and lose in court. Or leave and never come back. You can't make me. I'm not making you do anything, I said. I'm giving you choices. All of them have consequences. Pick one. Alicia looked at Isaiah. He was holding his father's watch, staring at her with devastation in his eyes. If I sign, she whispered. Then what? Then you pay me back. Every penny. $600 a month for 49 months. And you move out. Move out? You and Isaiah find your own place. You're not living off Patricia anymore. You're not living off anyone. You're going to support yourselves honestly or not at all. And you're going to earn your way back into this family, if Isaiah even wants you back, with honesty, with work, with respect. I leaned forward. But understand this, Alicia. One missed payment, one late payment, one lie, and we're done. I take you to court for the full amount. No second chances, no mercy. You get one opportunity to make this right. That's more than you deserve. The room was silent except for the clock ticking on the wall. The clock Thomas bought at a yard sale in 1992. Finally, Alicia reached for the pen. Her hand was shaking so badly she could barely write, but she signed. Alicia Marie Bennett Harris, May 12, 2024. Keisha took the document, made a copy with her phone, emailed it to herself. This is legally binding. Default on payments. We take you to court. Understood? Yes. Out loud, please. I understand. Isaiah stayed that night. Slept in his old room, the one with his high school basketball trophies still on the shelf. In the morning, over coffee, he said something I needed to hear. Mama, I'm sorry. Baby, this isn't your fault. No, let me finish. He looked at me with red, tired eyes. I knew Alicia was working. I knew she had business income. But when you started helping, I didn't ask questions. I was relieved. Because it meant less pressure on me. I chose comfort over truth. I let my wife lie to my mother because it was easier than confronting her. The honesty gutted me. You're not blameless, I said. You're right about that. You're a grown man. You participated through willful ignorance. I know. But you're my son, and you're going to learn from this, both of you. They moved out of their apartment that week, found a cheaper place in Hyattsville, $1,400 a month, smaller, no fancy amenities. Isaiah made them pay it themselves. No help from family. June 5th, the first payment arrived. $600 direct deposit to my account. I sat at my kitchen table and cried. Not from relief, from exhaustion. From 16 months of carrying weight I should never have carried. The payments continued. July the 5th, $600 August 5th, $600 September 5th, $700, extra $100 with a note. Landed a bigger client, putting extra toward debt. I didn't respond to the notes, just recorded the payments in a spreadsheet I kept. Running total, amount remaining. Isaiah called every Sunday. We'd talk about work, about Elijah, about life. Never about Alicia directly, just around her. We're doing marriage counseling, he said in August, twice a week. It's hard, but we're trying. That's good, baby. In September, Alicia asked if she could bring Elijah to visit, just for an afternoon. Isaiah will stay too, she said on the phone. We won't overstay. Miss Josie, Elijah's starting to forget you, and I don't want that. Whatever you think of me, he deserves to know his grandmother. They came on a Saturday. Alicia looked thinner, tired, like she'd been carrying her own weight for the first time. She brought Elijah to me. He was almost 2, walking, talking in short sentences. Hi, Grandma Josie, he said. Grandma Josie, not Miss Josie. I held him, felt his little arms around my neck. And something in my chest loosened. Alicia stood awkwardly by the door. Can we talk? Just for a minute? We sat in the living room while Isaiah played with Elijah on the floor. I'm in therapy, Alicia said, trying to understand why I did this, why I thought it was okay. And what have you learned? That my mother taught me love means money, that the more someone gives you, the more they love you. If they stopped giving, they stopped loving. So I equated your generosity with your worth, and I'm unlearning that. I didn't say anything, just listened. I know I can't undo it, she continued. Can't give you back the year of worry or the jewelry you sold or the peace I stole. But I want you to know, every payment isn't just money. It's repaying trust. Trust has to be earned, I said, not just repaid. I know. They left after 2 hours, stiff but civil. Not forgiveness yet, but maybe the beginning of something. December came, Elijah's 2nd birthday, February 3rd, 2025. Alicia called. We're having a small party at our apartment, just family. I'd like to invite you, not like last time, but really, as his grandmother. Will Patricia be there? No, we're working on boundaries with her. Low contact. It'll just be you, me, Isaiah, Elijah, and Keisha if she wants to come. I went. Their apartment was small, clean, decorated simply with streamers from the party store and a cake from Giant Food Bakery. $15, I recognized it. 7 people total. Me, Keisha, Isaiah, Alicia, Elijah, 2 of Isaiah's work friends. It was nothing like the first birthday party. No professional photographer, no $300 venue, no elaborate balloon installations. Just family. Simple. Real. Alicia took photos with her phone. Lots of them. Elijah with his cake. Elijah with Isaiah. Elijah with me. Really with me, in focus, smiling, present. The next week, she posted an album. Elijah's second birthday. Family love. 108 photos. I appeared in 47 of them. 47 photos of me holding my grandson, playing with him, celebrating his life. Not erased, not deleted, not background, present, visible. His grandmother. Something in my chest that had been tight for 2 years finally released. Months passed. Payments kept coming. March 2025, 800, bigger client. April 2025, 600 May 2025, $700 by June, 1 year after the confrontation. Alicia had paid back $11,400. Progress. Real progress. Then September 2025, $1,200, double payment. October 2025, $1,200 again. In November, my phone rang. Alicia's number. Miss Josie, I landed a major contract. Ongoing work with a marketing firm in Bethesda. $3,000 a month, guaranteed for 2 years. That's wonderful. I want to pay the rest. All of it. Can I make a final payment? December 5th, 2025. 19 months after signing the promissory note, a deposit hit my account. $18,200. The remaining balance plus interest. Total paid, $28,800. Keisha called that afternoon. She paid it all. Every penny. How do you feel? I looked at my savings account balance. $34,080. Not where I started, but rebuilt, restored. Free, I said. We're all free now. Sunday morning. I'm in my kitchen making coffee. The smell fills the house. Thomas's favorite blend from Trader Joe's. My house looks like mine again. Photos back on the walls. Our wedding. Our anniversaries. Thomas at work sites. Isaiah's baby pictures. New photos now, too. Elijah's second birthday, with me front and center. My jewelry box sits on my dresser. Inside, Thomas's Omega Seamaster, ticking steadily. Keeping time, keeping memory. Every Sunday they come for dinner. Isaiah, Alicia, Elijah. We eat jollof rice and fried plantains. Say grace. Talk about the week. Alicia's business is thriving. She's making real money now. $4,800 a month from the marketing firm plus her other clients. They've saved enough for a down payment on a small house. Doing it themselves. She and Patricia barely speak. Maybe once a month. Supervised visits with Elijah. Boundaries in place. Last week, Elijah asked me, "Grandma Josie, what's this?" Pointing at the watch. "That was your grandfather's," I said. "He wore it every day for 30 years. One day, when you're older, it'll be yours." "What do I gotta do?" "Learn what it means. It means keeping promises. It means honoring your word. It means some things, trust, family, love, are worth more than money. And once you break them, you spend years earning them back." He didn't understand. He's only 3, but Alicia did, Isaiah did, and I did. That night after they left, I sat at my kitchen table with a cup of Nigerian tea, Lipton with condensed milk, the way my mother taught me. Looked at my savings account on my phone, $34,085. Not where I started, $42,000, but not where I fell, $25,085 at the lowest point. Rebuilt, restored. Mine again. I thought about Thomas, about the emergency fund he left me. Just in case, baby. Thomas, I whispered to the empty room, I finally learned what you were trying to teach me. That protecting yourself isn't selfish, that boundaries aren't unloving, that the people who really love you will respect your no as much as your yes. I looked at my calendar. The spreadsheet was complete. Debt, paid in full. All of us free. Free from the debt. Free from the lie. Free to build something real. My phone buzzed. Text from Alicia. Thank you for today, for giving me the chance to make it right, for not giving up on us. A. I didn't respond immediately. Just read it. Let it sit. Finally typed back. You earned it. Keep earning it. 3 dots appeared, then disappeared. Then, I will, I promise. I set down my phone, looked around my kitchen, my house, my sanctuary, the photos on the walls, Thomas smiling at me, Isaiah as a boy, Elijah laughing, the table Thomas built, the floors we refinished together, the memories we made, all still here, all still mine. I survived 16 months of betrayal, survived being erased from my own life, survived selling my memories and skipping my medicine and watching someone smile while robbing me blind. And I didn't just survive. I reclaimed. I rebuilt. I set boundaries and demanded respect and got my voice back. At 64 years old, I learned that the richest thing I own isn't what I kept. It's what I refuse to let them take. My voice, my worth, my right to be loved without being destroyed by it. And someday, when Elijah's 18, I'll give him his grandfather's watch. And I'll tell him this story, not to make him hate his mother, but to teach him what I learned the hard way. That kindness without boundaries becomes self-destruction. That generosity without limits becomes exploitation. That love without dignity isn't love at all. And that sometimes the greatest victory isn't revenge, it's peace. I take a sip of tea, look out the window at my backyard, the garden Thomas planted, still growing after all these years, and I smile, because I'm still here, still standing, still whole. Josie Harris, 64 years old, 847 Oakwood Drive, Prince George's County, Maryland. A widow, a mother, a grandmother, and finally, no longer a fool.